You are now tuned into the sounds of
Big Nate Sports Talk.
It's on all the time, anytime.
Tuned in to Big Nate Sports Talk, the show that is on all the time, anytime. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host, Nathan Snell.
And as always, thank you, Mr. Anthony Handy, for that wonderful introduction. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host, Nathan Snell of Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast. This is episode 402 of the podcast. And this episode, I have a very special guest. But before we get into that, let's get it out the way. The Baltimore Ravens play tonight, Monday Night Football, against the Buccaneers. The Washington Commanders embarrassed the Carolina Panthers. So be tuned in for that. The University of Maryland Terrapins upset USC Saturday at homecoming. So definitely talk about that. And the WNBA finals as of last night. We are officially in off-season mode, so be tuned in for the WNBA 2025 WNBA Mock Draft 1.0 done by me. But that is enough talk. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of my favorite collegiate ball players. I think she's going to do some big things this year. And I think she's going to she's definitely going to make a name for herself when she is ready for the WNBA. I want you guys to give a warm welcome to the leader, our fearless leader of the Maryland women's basketball team, Shyanne Sellers. Shyanne, how you doing? Welcome to the podcast.
Good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Shyanne Sellers, senior this year. I cannot believe that. Where'd the time go? A little fun, just a couple notes. This year, she was named to the All Big Ten preseason list. It was like the name the 10. Yeah, it was 10 preseason All Big Ten team last year. Big Ten Player of the Week. No, it's 2023. Excuse me. Big Ten Sixth Player of the Year. Freshman All Big Ten. I could go on and on and on. Brad Sellers, former NBA player, as well. So just a plethora of greatness. And her sister also played collegiate basketball. So basketball definitely runs in the family. But Shai, let's just talk for a little bit. Just where did your love of basketball begin?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in the gym with my siblings. They all played basketball growing up. So it kind of was just instilled in me to fall in love with the game. It was never forced upon me, but, being in the gym for hours upon hours, you go to love it. So,
were there any players that you looked up to that you modeled your game after?
Yeah, I mean, I really love watching Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird growing up. Those are like two of my top favorite players ever. So I feel like I've taken a little bit of both their games and kind of made it into my own.
Coming along through high school and then the AAU, did you have a rival every time that you faced?
I don't know about rival. Northeast Ohio, there's not many big kids. When you see like Breezy Hall, Layla Filia, They're all from like the Columbus, Cincinnati area, so they got to play each other a lot more than even Jordan Horson. Actually, Jordan Horson's from Ohio too. Um, a lot of those kids got to play each other a lot more than I got to play them. Not many competition, but AAU, I feel like it was definitely certain teams that we just had a battle with. So it was fun.
You talk about being, because you're from Aurora, just what does it mean to represent that area of Ohio?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. Not many kids come out of my town like that. I was in a very fortunate and blessed position to be able to do that. It's honestly just a blessing. A lot of kids look up to me back home, and honestly, just a blessing.
In your high school year, you led your team to the championship. Uh, what was that moment like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I got to win 4 league championships, 2 of them by my sister's side. I mean, it was really fun. It was just a great time in high school. Nothing like it. Yeah, it was just an awesome time to be around.
Now, both your sisters went to play collegiately. Last year, you got to face your sister. You guys played at Fort Wayne. What was that moment like for you?
It was surreal. I mean, it was our last game before Christmas break. Definitely a little good icebreaker for the dinner table. But I mean, honestly, it was a surreal feeling. Get to seeing her in her element. I haven't really been to catch many games. So I feel like that was just really surreal to share the court again.
What have your sisters? This is a follow up. What have your sisters meant to you as you're becoming the basketball player and growing into the women that you are?
I mean, everything. My backbone. I had a really tough decision to make when I was committing here. I brought them all in. We talked about it. They gave me a decision, and I followed my heart and went with it, and they landed me here. So, I mean, clearly they have great instincts, so that was good.
Now, you were ranked number 21 coming out of high school. Was there any other schools other than Maryland that you had interest in?
Yeah, I mean, at the time, Michigan State was ran by Susie Merchant. I really love Michigan State. They had a big piece of my heart. It was a really tough decision to say no. And then Indiana was in there too. The Hoosier fans they're great. They're energetic. Still tough to say no to them too. So there's a lot of people in there. But I kind of settled down and found Maryland.
What was it about Maryland that you liked?
I think everything. The coaching staff felt like they stayed consistent the entire time. The players, obviously, a couple people left by the time I committed, but it was honestly just the same. I think the environment, the culture, everything was as advertised, and I think that was like one of the biggest things.
Now you came post COVID, started 2021, and you were a freshman and you were 6th player of the year. Just what was that season like for you?
I mean, it was a great season. I mean, the talent that we had on that team, the personalities. I mean, everything about that year was fun. I mean, I got to learn a lot and I had to learn a lot quickly. I stepped into a role that I wasn't sure I was going to get the opportunity to get as a freshman. But, I made the most of it. And I think overall that year was just a blast.
Now, I have a follow-up for you. Can you talk about the transition from high school basketball into college?
Yeah, I think, it's hard. I don't think that the rankings, whatever you're ranked, it really doesn't mean anything when you get into that court because you're going against, 21, 22, sometimes 23, 24-year-olds at the time. So it's tough, but I think a lot of freshmen mistake it as I got to score to get on the floor. And, I shared with Bree McDaniel, and, she had a lot of success her freshman year and her sophomore year. I told her you play defense, you get on the court. And, Bree's been a big defensive stopper for us. And
yes, most definitely.
And then your offensive game is always there. You just got to get the confidence and then, but defense is something that you don't have to have, talent for. You just got to have heart. And that's why I tell people when they're coming in, don't worry about the offensive side. That'll come to you, but the defensive side is probably the most important.
Now, you made your sophomore year all Big Ten first team by the media and then by the coach's second team. What clicked for you going into your sophomore year of college? Well, basketball, I should say.
Yeah, I think freshman year I was, very poised and very calm in my role. We had like 3 AP All-Americans coming back. You didn't need scoring from me. I was okay with that. I understood that. So I did my role and did my defensive assignments. And then sophomore year, we had people transfer out. We got people in. We got Abby and stuff. And we had great success. I had to be a little bit more of a scorer, but that year I definitely said I was one of the best two-way players. I understand my assignment each year. That was just probably the biggest jump of just being a little bit more offensively aggressive. And I did that.
Now, most would argue your junior year, when we went through the transition, you characteristically became the leader going into your junior year. What kind of led that spark?
Honestly, I think people got antsy with Diamond leaving. Created this narrative. Obviously, I had to take on a bigger leadership role, but I feel like that's any year as you grow up. I had to step up. Last year was tough, but I think we did a lot of great things. It's not the Maryland standard, of course, but I just had to take on a bigger role, and I was okay with that.
Now, last year, not last season, but the season before, we had your first Elite Eight appearance. What was that moment like for you?
It was fun. It was great. Beating Notre Dame in the Sweet 16 was a great feeling. I was happy we got to get Diamond out the right way. And then, the Elite Eight game, it was fun. It was a great battle. I thought, whatever happened, but it was a great year.
I still think that's one of my favorite years, as long as I've been a Maryland women's basketball fan. I guess the noise in the off season. Obviously, we're all the transfers and kind of like, well, where is this team going to look like? And then to see to get to the Elite Eight, I was very proud of that team. That's one of my favorite teams I've seen so far. Other than us losing to Washington we had Breonna Jones, but that's still painful. You got to play alongside Diamond Miller, Angel Reese, Mimi Collins, I think even Chloe Bibby. What was it for you to play alongside those guys?
Yeah, it was great. You got to learn a lot. They all bring different things to the table. Mainly just experience. I was a freshman playing with a lot of them, so just learning everything really quickly. I had to listen very, very closely. God bless you with 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. So I had to take a lot in that year, but it was honestly just a great experience.
Now, we talked about but talk about Coach Freeze. We've obviously Brenda's probably arguably one of the best collegiate coaches, and we've seen her on the sidelines. The whole infamous clip when you guys were playing. I think it was Ohio State. And she's like, "You gotta show up." Just talk about what Brenda has meant to you in your collegiate career so far.
Yeah, she's meant a lot. She's like my family away from my family. She's been hard on me, but that's what it takes. But I've enjoyed every second of it. She's just an awesome coach. I think she's very much underrated for what she does. Time in and time out, she builds this team up every year, whether people want to leave or not. She makes it a point of emphasis that Maryland's still gonna be Maryland regardless, with or without you.
Do you have a favorite game so far as a Maryland Terrapin?
I think my favorite game is probably the Sweet 16 game against Notre Dame, or it's against Notre Dame again when Diamond hit the buzzer beater. I feel like that was a really cool experience.
I thought you were going to say the game winning shot you took against George Mason.
You mean Purdue?
Purdue, that's the one. Sorry.
Yeah, Purdue was cool. I don't know. I just like celebrating other people, and Diamond Shot was kind of cold. It was cold.
That is true. Her shot. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. You've also come into an atmosphere of college basketball where NIL is now at its peak. Just what is your perspective on now? Being able to get endorsements for what you're doing on the court.
Yeah, I think it's kind of twofold. Obviously, it's great to receive money for all the hard work you put in and countless hours and stuff like that. I think sometimes it can get dicey though when you don't keep the main thing, which is the main reason why we came to university is to play basketball and get a good academic degree. When people offer money, you can kind of start losing sight of the main thing. And I think people just need to be careful. I mean, obviously it's great when people are offering you a lot of money to go. But sometimes you got to be careful of where you're getting that money from just in case there are strings attached. And just be careful. But overall, I think it's great that student athletes are getting paid for their time because, they are worth it.
For sure. I'll make sure Nike sends you a good check. I want to actually have to follow. If basketball wasn't a thing, what would Shyanne be doing?
Probably playing volleyball or soccer. Probably one of those two.
If you're a soccer, so what position?
Soccer, probably forward.
Was that one of the sports you were playing growing up as well, other than basketball?
Yeah, soccer and volleyball. Those are the two.
I like that. You mentioned, let's talk about this upcoming season. Just talk about what have you worked on. This past season was kind of I call it the transition from the Elite Eight run. Last year we dealt with some injuries, and I think just a transition. Just what did you take away from last season and going into this off season and getting ready for your senior year?
I just worked up on being more consistent. Obviously last year I had to take a lot of difficult shots sometimes. But just being more consistent, developing a more consistent 3-point game. I don't think people realize how banged up I was last year. Tore 2 ligaments in my thumb, played with like that for like over half the season.
Yes.
And
yes.
then
I think at one point you had a knee injury too.
Yeah, I had a knee injury against Penn State. I wasn't even supposed. I missed the Indiana game. I wasn't supposed to play in the Iowa game. I couldn't miss that game though. That was
my favorite game. I couldn't hear for 2 days straight.
Yeah, so I had to get my knee drained right before that game, and then I played on basically like a whole bone bruise the entire season. So yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't take it back. It was a great experience. It was fun. But yeah.
I'll speak for myself. I was one of your biggest advocates for last year because I felt like some of the criticism towards you was unjustly unfair. When you're asked as a player to take on a role, you're going to take on that role. And regardless, you still gave 100% effort. I don't know too many players that ever played through an injury, a thumb to the injury. I mean, example, there's an NFL player's out for 46 weeks because of a thumb injury. Then you played through a knee injury. That to me speaks of what a great player is. So,
well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think the criticism was what it is. I mean, people are going to have their opinions regardless. I think, as a team, we kind of don't try to pay attention to outside noise. I think y'all saw I deleted Twitter the other day. I mean, it's just become not a fun space for a lot of athletes. So a lot of us do deactivate or do what we got to do. I deactivated all my social media towards the end of the season. So, I mean, yeah, but I mean, it comes with the territory. So,
unfortunately, I saw Alex did the same thing last night. So, I don't like it, but I understand. Last year, Brianna Jones was on the sideline with you guys. What was that experience like?
honestly just one of the sweetest people, literally one of the sweetest people. But honestly, her knowledge, seeing things before it happens. I mean, obviously everybody knows like Breezy's kind of like quiet and shy. Um, but she has a lot to say, and she's not one to like vocalize it in front of everybody, but she's the one to pull you aside and be like, this is what I saw, like do it next time or whatever. And I think it was very helpful for everybody, so it was great.
I could agree with that. I would never think of her as a shy person.
She's quiet, but she's like one of those people that like says stuff and like you automatically laugh because like she says like very like minimal things, but it's like important things, if that makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense, but like
That
you know
makes sense.
Brittany, you know her.
No, because she's Sagittarius. That's how we roll. The transfer portal for you guys this year. You guys picked up some great players. You got Sailor, Kayleen, Mir, Izzy. Just like how I know you definitely had to pass out a couple times. Just get for Brenda bringing on some, I think, key pieces that are going to be essential to Maryland's run this year. Just what has the bonding been like so far with those ladies?
Yeah, I mean it's been easy and seamless. I mean, probably one of the easiest things I've come into. Everybody was super outgoing, super down to get to know each other. I think it helped that we had a lot of transfers, so like they didn't feel like the oddball out.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the returners that were the oddball out. But it was super easy. They make it easy to play with them. They're super hungry, super humble. And I mean, I think we've addressed every single problem that any fan could probably have said. I mean, I feel like we've addressed the size problem. I think some people still have a concern. I don't.
I don't have no concerns either. I just watch you guys demolish Seton Hall.
Mir, literally 6 foot, grabbed 15 rebounds yesterday. I'm not a pro, but that's not normal.
That's not normal.
So I think we've addressed size, we have addressed rebounding, we have addressed our pace, everything that Maryland basketball is, we have. So I think that's the most exciting part about this team.
Talk about the game yesterday. What was your perspective on your first exhibition?
We look good. I mean, yeah, we have a lot. Like it's just exciting to see like our transition is back. Any defensive scheme we have, it's gonna work. Like we're all united. We can all talk to each other. Everyone is accountable for their actions and like what they do. Mm-hmm. People are willing to listen. Yeah, we're gonna have bumps in the road, absolutely, but I think like the most thing is like we're resilient. We know what we have to do, and I think just in every way, shape, and form, we like are really connected. And I think this is the earliest I've ever seen a team connected. Even our Elite 8 year took us a while to get connected. So I mean, the fact that we're connected this early is a really promising sign.
I love it. Now, I should have mentioned this early. You guys went on a little summer vacation. What was that experience like?
It was super cool. Croatia's super beautiful. We got a chance to like go in the water and stuff, which was honestly sick. It was like so nice, blue. Didn't really have to worry about any like sharks or nothing. They haven't seen sharks in a while, so that was really great to me. But honestly, it was just a great to experience in their culture and just to just go and travel with the team and like build some like connectiveness throughout the summer.
Now, who ziplined and who didn't zipline? I'm curious to know.
I didn't zipline. I got food poisoning. I did get food poisoning.
Okay.
So I was down, but I think everybody else pretty much did, except like a couple of the like Lindsay because she had like her son with her, and then our strength coach Kelsey because she had her daughter with her.
Sure.
But I think everybody else zipline. Rose zipline. Everybody zipline.
You wouldn't see me zipline. Nope. Nope. Mm-mm. I'll gladly hike up a mountain or something. I'm not. No.
I think a couple people shed a tear on the way up, but they had fun on the way down.
I couldn't. Let's back to the basketball side. Bree McDaniel, just her growth, going her to a junior year. I really can't believe that neither. You kind of taken her under your wing. Just what of the growth have you seen from her these last 3 years?
Yeah, I mean, I think Bree's shown a lot of resiliency. I mean, her minutes freshman year went up and down, up and down. And then last year she started on the bench and then became a starter. Um, and then, yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what she does this year. I think, she's humble, she's hungry. Um, she knows what she can do. She knows she's putting the time and the work. Um, so everything that she's prayed for is going to come to fruition this year. I think you'll get to see Bree be able to operate a lot better with more spacing and just different people around her. So she won't have to take a tough shot this year. Well, maybe a couple. I mean, I'll give her a couple. I mean, everybody take a couple tough shots. I mean, but but she's gonna be a phenomenal player. She's already a phenomenal player. I'm just excited to see where she goes.
Now we've also picked up. We got a couple freshmen on the team: Rhiannon Williams, even McKinney, and Kendall Walker. Just what is some of the advice that you've given to them so far as they're getting ready for their first collegiate season?
Yeah, I think each of them have done a little bit. They're all in different positions. I think I've told them a little bit each different thing. I've told Kendall, she's the point guard. She has to be more vocal. I don't care that you're a freshman, like speak up. Make sure people are at the right spot. I think that's just her biggest thing, is just speaking up. Other than that, she has everything to her. She has a nice everything. She can play defense. She can shoot the pull up. She can shoot the three. Yep. She's a phenomenal passer. She can command the offense really well. So I'm really happy about Kendall. Ava McKinney, I think we saw her. She's a track athlete. I mean, I don't know what to say about her. She's just a natural athlete. She'll help us out in transition, and then she adds a little bit of size for us, especially when she's going to play the wing a little bit and a little bit of the four. So she adds size on the wing, and her ability just to think and her IQ is really high. And then Brianna Williams, she moves up and down the floor really well. She does a good job of knowing when she has a mismatch, and we saw that yesterday in the exhibition game. She was burying people, and then she's able to get rebounds. So I think our team, those freshmen just do a really good job of knowing their role and knowing how to play it very well.
I think this is going to be a great rookie class. I definitely see the potential. The potential is high. I did want to say this, though, about the game. Big Ten Network, there was a couple of times I could not watch the game. Please fix that.
Yeah, I got a lot of texts about that too.
I literally was pissed because I was like, I'm missing some good moments, and it kind of like, I know the Big Ten Network. I mean, Big Ten Plus. I get it, but come on, man, we gotta fix that. Got to fix that. Looking at the schedule this year, like the Pac-12 is not the Pac-12 anymore. And we welcome some teams to the Big Ten. You get to see Juju Watkins. You get to see Kiki Rice. You even get to see the University of Duke, Carol Lawson. I'm not afraid of them. Is there any games that are circled on your schedule, like to let them know we're in the room this year?
I mean, I think like all of the new Big Ten teams, those are all going to be exciting. I think, they're coming into a new conference. They want to prove something. We want to prove who it goes through.
It goes through us.
Right. And then, obviously the Duke game is going to be important. I think the most important thing is that, fans show out, make it a sellout, because that'll be a big game for both teams, and it's going to be a fun one.
Well, I already know I'll be at the Duke game covering it, so I'm definitely bringing the energy because I'm definitely talking trash. No, I'm just kidding. So, yeah, I mean, I like this schedule's pretty good. Like Texas, before you came to play at Maryland, we painfully lost to Charlie Collier, and I'm really looking for some payback against them. And that's another team I'm not afraid of them, because their football team, I think, got demolished over the weekend too. So the only teams I'm actually really scared of is Ohio State because of Cody McMahon, and that's about it. Everybody else, these are bring it.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Bring it. So just your senior year of college is like a full circle moment. Like what's the one thing you want to take away? When you look back at your collegiate career, what's the one thing you say you're going to be most proud of?
How much fun I had. You get caught up in a lot of the BS that goes around and stuff like that. But I mean, I had fun throughout my college career. That's something I can say. I feel like they valued us. They really took care of us, and I just had fun. I think every single year I had a really great time, and I'm grateful for everybody that I met throughout my journey. Sad this is my last year with Terp Nation, but I'll always be back and be here for family. So, yeah.
I was shocked. I thought we had an extra COVID year for you, but you came in after, so
Yeah,
that sucks. It definitely sucks, but it's all good. Like I said, you were one of my favorite players from your freshman year, just to see the growth, and then the 2022 offseason, all the transition, all the narratives, and then you kind of become our uncharacteristic other than Diamond, were our leader on the court, and that Elite Eight run I think really sparked some greatness in you, and I'm really excited to see what you're looking like this season. I actually predict you're going to make an all Big Ten team this year.
Guaranteed.
So you also, I'm not sure if you're paying attention, but you have the chance to be a top 5 WNBA draft pick. I know you're probably not paying attention to that noise, but what is that like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a blessing. I'm not too worried about it right now. I'm trying to keep the main thing the main thing. If I do my job, I do my job right. I'll be blessed with opportunity, God willing. But yeah, I'm not really focused on it. I mean, it's great, but I'm really focused on this year and just having a great season.
I like the energy. Lastly, before we end it here, I always ask this question: what is your why?
My family, they're everything for me. I do everything for them. I think my parents have given me an opportunity to be blessed to go to a great institution and play basketball at the highest level. So they're really my why and why I continue to do what I do.
I like that. Yeah, no, your basketball journey has been something. I forgot you mentioned you participated with Team USA 3v3. That was a cool experience to see. But I can't wait to see what you're doing on the court this year. I think you're going to do great things. I think the team's going to do great things. I'm ready for the season. It went by a little too fast. Like once the WNBA season, I was kind of like, okay, I'm ready for college basketball because this is the WNBA season was something. So I'm excited that Maryland basketball is back and will be bigger, better than ever. And especially watching you guys beat Seton Hall and then watch the Maryland football team win against USC. My week's off to a great start. I'm just hoping the Ravens just don't ruin it for me. So really quick before we get out here, is there anything that Maryland fans should know? Just keep everybody in the loop for.
Patience, just patience. Everyone is on 10. Just patience. Trust us. I swear, trust us.
I like it. Well, Shyanne, thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Again, senior year. Damn. So I can't wait to see you on the court and see you around at the games. But best luck to you this year. And go Terrapins.
Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude this episode of the podcast. I'd like to thank also Rose DePaula for all the work that she does for the Maryland women's basketball team. And again, thank you for the opportunity. See you guys in a couple weeks at Duke. And you guys play on the 30th against Frostburg State. I know that's a little early, but that's 9 days. Are there any things that you've seen from the Seton Hall game that you want to emphasize in that game?
We got film tomorrow, I think. So I'll get back to you on that one.
Sounds like a plan. But ladies and gentlemen, please like, comment, and subscribe for all future content. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace. Stay up.
Thank you for tuning in to Big Nate Sports Talk. If you enjoyed that episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and share Big Nate Sports Talk. It's on all the time, anytime.
And I want to thank you. All I want to do is say thank you for everything you do.